Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Steve Alburtus. My pronouns are he, him. I currently serve on the board with Family Ministry and the Endowment Committee. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. I draw your attention to the backside of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those of you on the live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. I believe we have a couple of announcements from Sarah and Judy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Stewart, pronouns she, her, and hers. So I ask you, what are you doing this Saturday night? If by chance you have missed the announcements about our fundraiser international dinner in the e-blast, in the order of service, on Facebook pages, or possibly you missed the ticket booth, during coffee hour, that's okay. I'm here to tell you that there are a few tickets left. This dinner is featuring Indian and Greek cuisines sourced from several highly regarded local restaurants, accommodating multiple diet preferences, vegetarians, vegans, gluten-free, and you omnivores too. Treat your senses to a spin around the world. Your taste buds, your eyes, your ears. We're going to have music. Maybe there'll be a little dancing. Costumes are welcome and encouraged. So get your Greek and Indian on. Come join us. Let's put the fun in fundraiser. For more information, stop by our ticket booth during coffee hour. I just want to say, Danyavad, Eferisto, thank you, and Opa! Opa. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Judy Stevens. I'm your council moderator. I'm here with two hats on this morning. Actually, like the other two speakers, I'm going to ask you to look at the back of your order of service, this announcement right here. I'm here on behalf of Faith Action New Jersey, and we want to support the Greenman Amendment. Earth Day is every day. Mother of us all, what a perfect day to go out, show your respect for Mother Earth, and in 3 to 5 minutes, you can send off 5 postcards to our elected officials to support the Greenman Amendment and get it down onto the legislative floor this legislative session. Now's my fun part as council moderator. Tom Celandine, who I'm sorry is not here this morning, is our volunteer of the month of May. Tom entered our doors not very long ago, ready and willing to make a difference in our community, full of ideas on making connections between people by expanding social, aesthetic, and enjoyable events and endeavors. Tom has begun his time with us organizing a classic film series sponsored by Adult RE. When's the last time you watched The Day the Earth Stood Still? Thanks to Tom, you could do it here while sitting with friends, old and new, followed up by a great conversation on what you thought of that film. We hope Tom stays with us for a long time and keeps those ideas and activities coming. Thank you.
If you are new to us here, please visit our website, uucmc.org, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together. Welcome again to this place of love and hope.
Good morning. My name is Tom McCormick. I'm excited to be here. Thank you. I am standing in the subway. I am waiting for a train. I have come with no more purpose than seek shelter from the pouring rain. As I wait within the silence, beneath the stairs I hear a sound. An unseen man sings to darkness. The place you stand is holy ground. His face for me holds no affection. He wears no shoes upon his feet. His home beneath the downtown stairway till he's pushed into the street. The D train roars as it approaches, its cry the sound of someone damned. I turn to enter as he whispers, "Can you tell me who I am?" I am. I am. So began my nights of questions and my travels underground. Questions better asked than answered, answers better searched for than found. I will not go down in anger. I refuse to lose my name. What is whole, although it's broken, burned, but not consumed by flame. I am. I am. And we run, but we stumble. We try, but we fail. In our pride, we are humbled by detail. In this town, there is a village. In the village is a man. In the man, there is a hatred. In his hatred, there's a plan. In the plan, there is an evil, evil too great to be believed. In believing, there's a question, answer me, shall I be received? I am. And we run, but we stumble. We try, but we fail. In our pride, we are humbled by detail. In my time, I've sung to darkness, ridden on too many trains, upon which ride not men and women, as much as there remains. I cannot help but sit and cry, for I've seen the burnt and broken each speak with a voice of I am. I am. And we run, but we stumble. We try, but we fail. In our pride, we are humbled.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Craig Rubano, and on this multi-generational morning, we settled into a month in which our theme is pluralism. Just as a congregation has many different members, each distinct in ways from one another, each one of us has many identities. As much as we would like to be able to say, I am, and have a singular answer, as Tom McCormick just sang for us so beautifully, the question, who are we, is often complicated to answer, for we are so many things. This morning we concentrate on the identities we own that involve the care we extend, care for the world, care for one another, care for ourselves. Today, in many countries around the world, Mother's Day is celebrated. I invite us to broaden our understanding of who the people are who mother us, who the people are whom we mother. A mother figure of caregiving may not be a biological parent. What makes a mother is the sustained relationship, the care and guidance and love. The stories that live in us and that we pass on in turn. And I want to acknowledge that Mother's Day is a hard time of year for many. Loss, grief, perhaps some recrimination. All those can just as easily accompany the warmth and kindness of better Motherly Day memories. Some of us are or have been mothers. Some of us have wanted to be parental, but have not had it be possible. And some of us so dearly miss those motherly figures in our lives, or the children who looked to our mothering. For our call to worship, with worship understood in its original meaning of a shaping concern for all that is of worth. I share a poem by a woman who had the unique distinction of having served as president of both the North Carolina Poetry Society and the Poetry Society of South Carolina. I understand that's quite a rarity. Susan Meyer's words struck me as appropriate this week as I thought about my own mother. And I realized that as well as I know her, she herself, just as each of us with one another, harbors mysteries within the pluralism she embodies. So this is Susan Meyer's Mother Washing Dishes, a look back at a woman known and unknowable. She rarely made us do it. We'd clear the table instead. So my sister and I teased that someday we'd train our children right and not end up like her after each meal stuck with red knuckles, a bleached rag to wipe and wring. The one chore she spared us, gummy plates in water, greasy and swirling with sloughed peas, globs of egg, and gravy. Or did she guard her place at the window, not wanting to give up the gloss of the magnolia, the school traffic humming, sunset, finches at the feeder, First sightings of the mail truck at the curb just after noon, delivering a note, a card, the least bit of news. Come, let us worship together. Each week we light a flame in a chalice to signify the sacred space we create each time we gather together. This place is not sacred unto itself. We make it so through our covenanted intention. May I introduce someone we all know, but in a new interim title, Sabbatical Organizer of Family Ministry, Sari Alburtus.
But, oh, I'm still the new Michelle. Okay, I would like to invite Denise Adanazio to come up and light our chalice. Sorry, I have to get used to this. Denise, on this day of honoring caregivers, I think should be acknowledged for not only raising one family of children, but a second complete family of children as well. So thank you, Denise, for what you did and what you do. We light our chalice to signify our commitment to support one another in our personal and spiritual quests for wisdom and understanding. May the flicker of the chalice light remind us to offer sensitivity, respect, honesty, generosity, and love to all that are gathered here.
I invite us to rise in body and/or spirit to sing our opening hymn, an ode to the many things we are. Each child that's born is multiple, pluralistic, and beautiful. Number 1051, in our teal hymnals and on the screens, we are.
Well, this is what happens when you have a former first grade teacher as your interim sabbatical organizer. You get stuck with books called I Love You, Stinky Face. Okay, before I start, I can't help but point out that this is a book about unconditional love, really unconditional love. I love you, my wonderful child, said Mama as she tucked me in, but I had a question. Mama, what if I were a big scary ape? Would you still love me then? If you were a big scary ape, I would comb your whole hairy self to make sure you didn't have any tangles. And I would make you a birthday cake out of bananas, and I would tell you, I love you, my big scary ape. But Mama, what if I were a super smelly skunk? And I smelled so bad that my name was Stinky Face. Then I would give you a bath and sprinkle you with sweet smelling powder. And if you still smelled bad, I wouldn't mind. I would hug you tight and whisper in your ear, I love you, Stinky Face. But Mama, what if I were an alligator with big sharp teeth that could bite your head off? Then I would buy you a bigger toothbrush for your big teeth and make sure that you brush them every night so they'd be healthy and strong. And if you had a sore throat, I would stick my head right inside your enormous jaws to make sure you were okay. And I would say, I love you, my ferocious alligator. But Mama, what if I were a terrible meat-eating dinosaur with razor-sharp claws that ripped my sheets to bed every night? Ripped my sheets to shreds every night while I slept. Then I would give you plenty of meat to eat, if that is what you liked. And I would sew your sheets back together every day because, after all, the ripping, that would have been an accident. And I would tuck you into your newly mended sheets every night and say, I love you, my sweet, terrible dinosaur. But Mama, what if I were a swamp creature with slimy, smelly seaweed hanging from my body, and I couldn't ever leave the swamp or I would die? Then I would build a house right next to the swamp, and I would stay with you and take care of you always. And when you splashed to the surface, I would say, I love you, my slimy little swamp monster. Look at how cute. But Mama, what if I were a green alien from Mars and I ate bugs instead of peanut butter? Then I would dress you in colors that showed off your nice green skin, and I would pack your lunchbox with beetles and spiders and ants and grasshoppers and the tastiest bugs you ever had. And I would pack a little note with all the bugs that said, I love you, little greenie, bon appetit. But Mama, what if I were a cyclops and I had just one big gigantic eye in the middle of my head? Oops. Then I would look right into your gigantic eye and say, I love you, my little cyclops, and I would sing you a lullaby until your one gigantic eyelid got droopier and droopier, and it finally closed and you fell fast asleep. I love you, Mama, and I love you, my wonderful child. The end.
Steve?
Every week in this congregation, we are provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation and to our social justice partners through the good works of organizations which receive half of the money we collect each month. Our Share the Plate recipient for May is Libros para Todos, Books for All, an organization with which Reverend Craig made contact during a trip to Mexico last year. Libros promotes the love of literacy and education for children in the rural communities surrounding San Miguel de Allende, Guanajuato, Mexico. Libros gives children their own book and offers them an opportunity to meet the chosen author of the year. This year's author, Juan Villoro, is Mexican and lives in Mexico City. His book is El Libro Salvaje, the Wild Book. For those of you present here in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join in this time of generosity via text, sending your offering by mail, or charge your contributions online with a memo designating an amount to Libros para Todos. Please give generously.
In order to expand the category of motherhood that this Sunday represents to so many, and to zero in on the caregiving at the heart of our cherished identities, I'm invited Pat Hoppy to share from her heart this morning.
Hi, my name is Pat Hoppy. I'm originally from Williamsburg, Virginia. I moved here to be nearer my daughter and her family who live in Little Silver. And because I lived in Virginia for 55 years, which is kind of a long time, I made a lot of really nice friends. And if they're looking today, I say hi to you. I hope you're fine. Whoops. Wait a second. Yes, there we go. My pronouns are she and her. I need to preface this by saying that for 35 years of my life, before I came to New Jersey, I was Episcopalian. In the last 24 years, I've been a member of UU, and I thank you and everybody who's a member of UU for your contribution to this beloved place. Thank you so much. Now, picture this. A young mother, 30 years old, with a baby on one arm and a toddler on the other arm. She's walking toward a door in a church at Gloucester, Virginia. She's single. She sits. The baby is quiet for a little while. Babies are quiet when they're in a new place. But then Jocelyn starts wiggling and wiggling. No nursery in sight. I didn't know where the nursery was. As it happened, I found out that it was in another building, right? Go figure. So the baby wiggles some more, and finally I bring out the Cheerios, and that helps a little bit. I am that mother. My husband, Dana, left and went back to Michigan when he found he could not handle all the stresses of having a family and 2 businesses. So, that mother with these 2 little ones, 50 years ago today at Abington Episcopal Church in Gloucester County, Virginia, was lonesome and alone in the only way a single mother can be. A parishioner, Nanny Milliner, stopped me after the service, and she introduced herself and welcomed me to the church. As it happens, Nanny became my pastoral counselor and my friend. And this is before we had pastoral counselors. Now we have people who are taught to come to you, listen to you, and take your burden as theirs. Nanny believed in one thing: love. The word, as you know, has many meanings. In Greek, I think it has 4 or 5 meanings. But these are the meanings that I learned from Nanny. When you cry, she cries with you. When you share your grief, she listens without interrupting or giving advice. She never seems rushed or hurried. She is never preoccupied. She gives you her whole attention with her eyes, and she listens with confidentiality. You know you can trust her. She shares her own life along the way to let you in and let you know what she has suffered. This is love, my definition of love. Nanny knew what it was to be brokenhearted and to weep, to feel shame and loss, to be lost, to herself and to others, to be alone, to be terribly alone. She was a mother to 4 grown children when I met her, and 50 years old. But loneliness pervaded her life. Because of her loneliness, she recognized mine. I think that's the way it is so often, don't you? The reason I tell you about Nanny is that I want to honor all the people like Nanny today. You are like Nanny. You make a difference in so many ways. You listen, you take time, you greet strangers, you extend unconditional love to everybody you meet. I want to say thank you to all of you who are here today or streaming today, to thank you for being nurturers and kind to others. Because of you, life is sweeter and kinder to so many. Because of Nanny, and because of many of you, life is sweeter and kinder to me. So today I celebrate each one of us in this sanctuary. Whether you're male or female, whatever, it doesn't matter. You are a nurturer. and being spoken to, being welcomed, is like being saved. It heals us. It heals us in our hearts to be spoken to in a kind way. You know, we get the word saved so wrong when most of us think of it, because especially those of us who grew up in the Christian fundamentalist tradition, we think it means going to heaven or something like that. But the Greek word, sozo, means healed or reconciled or restored. And this community of UUCMC has brought the gift of restoration to me. We're brought to restoration and acceptance, to love. And through each one of you reaching out to a friend, to a stranger, we are like Nanny Milliner, who spoke to that single mother 50 years ago today. Each one of us is saving the other. Thanks.
So they say you should do something scary every day. Here we are. On this day about caregivers, I can't help but think that I was very fortunate to have two really wonderful, loving parents. My mom sits by my piano at home, and I thought, why not? She should be here today. I invite you into this song. It's a song that was written not as a solo performance, but to be participated with and in with a number of different people. And Reverend Craig is going to help lead the part that I'm hoping that you guys will participate in. It's very, very simple. It goes like this. It's I Love You More. I love you more. Give it a shot. I love you more. Same thing one more time. I love you more. And then, I love you more. I love you more. And then, I love you more. I love you more. Let's try that together. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. It's really kind of a meditation. And I invite you, if you can, to really receive that message. And some of us have been blessed with the caregivers that told us that, some of us not. This is that voice inside of you that says, I love you more. Close your eyes if you're open to it. If you fall asleep like the Cyclops, that's okay. Somebody will nudge you. And let's give it a shot. I love you more. In the daytime, in the nighttime, in your time, anytime. I love you more. In the sunshine, snowstorm, in the thunder and the rain. I love you more. When you're in love or feeling all alone. I love you more. I love you more. In the dark night, bad fight, anytime you're falling down. I love you more. When you stand up, sit down, even when you run away.
I love you more.
In silence, dancing. And maybe in time you can believe it. Maybe in time you'll see that it's true. Maybe in time you can receive it, so that anyone who is looking at you, though they love you, thinking of you, will know I love you more than your best friend, the one that you depend on.
I love you more
than your lover or the other in your life.
I love you more
than your secret someone.
I love you more
than your mother or your father or your children or your husband or your wife.
I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
And maybe in time you can believe it. Maybe in time you'll see that it's true. Maybe in time you can receive it, so that anyone who is looking at you, though they love you, thinking of you, will know
I love you more.
In the best time, worst time, every time you turn around.
I love you more.
With every second, every moment, every beating of your heart.
I love you more.
Just like a newborn.
I love you more.
And I await the day you start to know.
I love you more.
I love you.
I love you more.
Because you're mine.
I love you more. I love you more.
I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
Thank you, Tom, for that beautiful song that captures so well our theme of pluralism. For as we sang, I reflected that any one of us could inhabit many of those identities in Tom's words. We could be the ones who love you in the daytime or nighttime, sunshine or snowstorm, best friend or parent or spouse. And of course, in any one of those identities, there would be complications. For in any relationship, nothing is fully one thing or another. As much as we love someone in our lives, there are those days when we also resent or fear or, well, you know how it is. Don't we long for a relationship in which the love is constant, no matter what? For many, a connection with God is just such a bond. In the context of the all, in the light of the Spirit of life, we are essentially, unilaterally loved. And if that sounds like what we often say here from this pulpit, that's no accident. in a covenantal congregation where we are the product of the promises we make to one another, we have the luxury, something we create together, to be loved. Loved at our very essence. Loved for who and what and how we are right now. And that is a powerful thing to bring into being for one another. And at its core is the spirit of caregiving that informs so many of our identities. Have you ever thought about how many things each of us is? I mean, for instance, I am or have been a son, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, a brother, a friend, an uncle, a partner, a soulmate, a student, coworker, swimmer, reader, actor, singer, minister. What are some of your identities? Teacher? All of them. Now, some identities people probably know about you. Others, maybe hardly anybody does. Some identities you may be proud of. Others, indifferent to. Some may consistently bring you joy. Others may consistently problematize your life. But do you see that at the heart of each is care? Even if our identity is stamp collector, there is something about stamps that brings out the care in us. The plurality of our identities touches our connection with the universe. And if we think of ourselves as the center of a bicycle wheel with spokes coming out from us, each of those connectors to the ring of life we inhabit can be seen as a spoke of care. I've been doing some reading about caring, and in particular, a new way of conceptualizing nursing, surely a caregiving profession. Yet in the past, nursing had been conceptualized as being in relationship to a model of disease and pathology, that the patient is ill, needing medical intervention. Beginning in the 1980s, a woman named Dr. Jean Watson developed a new philosophy of nursing she calls caring science, tied to human caring theory. In this model, the patient is seen as whole, complete, no matter the illness or disease, and the relationship with the patient is one of interpersonal care, like what we heard about from Nanny. In this model, a nurse taps into the larger consciousness that holds us all in love and begins a relationship with what is, in essence, another facet of that love. The nurse, intentionally and with precious care, enters into the life space of another human person and makes contact with that second person's spirit or soul or condition of being. The patient is respected and revered and seen as possessing ultimate worth. So the relationship is between both two completely different people, honoring one another's uniqueness, and yet simultaneously two people who are part of a larger whole, something that supersedes and contains them both. In that moment of connection, new possibilities for living as whole people can emerge that wouldn't have in the old model of seeing the patient only as a collection of symptoms requiring attention. The nurse attempts to connect with and stay within the other's frame of reference, an empathic relationship that allows for interacting with the inner life world of meaning and spirit of the other. Together, the two people join in a mutual search for meaning, of being and becoming. And in that context, allow the greatest potential for the emergence of comfort measures, pain control, a sense of well-being, wholeness, or even spiritual transcendence of suffering. This is akin to what happens at the beginning of every service of worship, when we declare the original meaning of that word, a shaping concern for all that is of worth, an interaction of caring When we enter into a caring relationship with another human being or animal or portion of our natural world, we together have a shaping effect, one on the other. We place our essential worthiness in focus with an always already love at the center. And we say, in essence, in my caring for you and in your caring for me, I am open to the possibility that I can be changed. For after all, change is the currency of living. Every time we engage one of our many identities, we inhabit a relationship of caring that embraces change. When we refer to something as spiritual, I believe we are speaking of, an arc of possibilities available to us. Potentialities that we can come into contact with and embody only when we embrace the wisdom of our own beings and that of others. Our spiritual selves are not magical other than human elements, but instead have deep inroads into our material selves. In embracing spiritually caring relationships of all kinds, we can be changed in physical, scientifically measurable ways, while tapping into a larger spirit of love. Now, do we often experience such transcendent moments? Perhaps not. Could we experience them more often if we focused our intentionality on the caring heart of our connections in the world? Absolutely. I suggest that glimpsing flickers of that powerful love that connects us with one another and our worlds is what brings many of us into worship each week. It is what propels our desire to create a community in which we can be loved for who and what and how we are. It informs our openness to being transformed, changed. And it motivates our ability and our desire to transform the world. We say our abbreviated mission statement every single Sunday. And in doing so, we remind ourselves that this community is a portal for essential care in our lives. To conclude, I want to bring us back to thinking about all the identities we embody. If you take nothing else from this morning, take a willingness to think through all the I's, capital I, apostrophe S, all the I's that each of us represents. And one by one, locate the care that helps to define that identity. My identity as a brother flourishes because of my care for my sister. My identity as a reader exemplifies the care I possess for new knowledge. My identity as a minister embodies the care I have for you and for this project we create together. And let me tell you something else. Whenever we have the chance to be all or most of our eyes, all those eyes that we are, whenever we have the chance to be all of them at the same time, when some of them don't have to be hidden in order for others to come to the fore, when we can be all the caring selves we are able to be openly, in the glow of all our personal light, we approach a spiritual realm of being where we are primed for genuine, whole relationships with other whole selves. When we are wholly ourselves, we are inheritors and partakers in the capital L love that holds us all in her arms. The one, perhaps, in Tom's words, who loves us more. May it be so. And I invite us into a time of prayer and meditation on perhaps the one who loves us more. That wholeness which allows us to thrive as our individual selves in relationship with others. This kind of prayer has emerged again and again in various human religious traditions. We will offer one such beloved version from the canon of the Hebrew peoples of old, as adapted and set to chant by Bobby McFerrin and dedicated to his mother. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all I need. She makes me lie down in green meadows. Beside the still waters she will lead. She restores my soul. She rights my wrongs. She leads me in the path of good things. She fills my heart with songs. Even though I walk through a dark and dreary land, there is nothing that can shake me. She has said she won't forsake me. I'm in her hand. She sets a table before me in the presence of my foes. She anoints my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in her house forever, forever and ever. Glory be to our Mother and Daughter, and to the Holy of Holies, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. I invite us to rise in body and or spirit and sing our closing hymn, a supplication for the kind of relationships that allow us to grow, to care, to give, and to love. Number 1012 in our teal hymnals and on the screen, When I Am Frightened. commitment. Then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love. For our Pacific Northwest poet, author, yoga practitioner, and painter, Julia Fehrenbacher, whose website has the epigraph, "Stop asking, am I good enough? Ask only, am I showing up with love?" This is Fehrenbacher's The Cure for It All.
Go gently today. Don't hurry or think about the next thing.
Walk with the quiet trees. Can you believe how brave they are? How kind? Model your life after theirs.
Blow kisses at yourself in the mirror, especially when you think you've messed up.
Forgive yourself for not meeting your unreasonable expectations. You are human, not God. Don't be so arrogant.
Praise fresh air, clean water, good dogs.
Spin something from joy.
Open a window even if it's cold outside. Sit, close your eyes, breathe. Allow the river of it all to pulse through your eyelashes, your fingertips, and your bare toes.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe until you feel your bigness, until the sun rises in your veins.
Breathe until you stop needing anything to be different.
We salute the caregivers in our lives and our own ability to offer care to one another. And as we go in peace to bless the world, may I wish you a happy Mother's Day.